Hello everyone and welcome back to Beatley Tones Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be unboxing this is rock and roll star David Bowie box set that centres around the Ziggy Stardust album, or to give it its correct name, the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. But we're just going to call it Ziggy Stardust from now on, if that's okay. If that's okay. Now, this came out on the 14th of June 2024, which was the same day as One Hand Clapping, Paul McCartney and Wings album One Hand Clapping came out. So obviously, you know, my priority for this channel was to, you know, do videos around that, and then Mind Games arrived and all the videos that I've had to do for that as well. So I've only just got round to looking at this this box set. Haven't got it open yet, but we're going to do that in this video. Now, you know, I wouldn't call myself a David Bowie obsessive. I love David Bowie, but for certain periods. So for me, you know, I own all the albums from Space Oddity to Lodger, the 70s albums. From the 80s, I go from Scary Monsters to Don't Let Me Down, and then I've got a gap of the rest of the 80s and the 90s. Didn't buy any of the Tin Machine stuff or anything like that, and I kind of picked it up again with the Bowie at the Beeb, you know, triple CD, and then studio albums, you know, from Heathen to the end, Black Star. So yeah, I'm not a Bowie, you know, obsessive. I'm not sure. What do we have a collective noun for David Bowie fans? Something like a zigonometrist or something like that. But my history with the Ziggy Stardust album is, I first heard it in 1975, so it was already 3 years old when I heard it. Someone from school lent it to me, and so I heard this before I even sort of discovered the Beatles, and I absolutely loved this album from start to finish. I think it was probably the first album that I'd heard all the way through where I loved every single track on the album. It was also the first album where when I first sort of started to, you know, take notice of lyrics. This is my original copy of Ziggy Stardust that I bought in the 70s, and I'll just show it you just for the sake of it. It sort of comes in this sort of a papery sort of lyric sheet. I'm sure you've all seen it. Anyone that's got this album knows that. And that is my vinyl, and I just absolutely loved this album, and it is my favourite David Bowie album. So when this came out, and they have brought out other big box sets like this for some of the other albums, notably Hunky Dory, which is my second favourite David Bowie album. I hadn't bought any of these box sets, but I am, you know, considering getting the one that is sort of Hunky Dory centric. I'm kind of waiting for the price to come down, because this was quite expensive, and you know, you could do a comparison with this with the John Lennon Mind Games. You know, everyone thought that the price of that at $130 was quite expensive, despite the fact that, you know, prices of music have just gone up. They have just gone up, but you know, Mind Games was a 6 CD, 2 Blu-ray and a hardback book. This is only 5 CDs and 1 Blu-ray, but it's got a hardback book and a softback book as well. And as I say, Mind Games $130. This was $150 when it was announced, which I thought was quite expensive. And so I actually bought this from David Bowie's website, and I've never bought anything from his website before. And they were giving an introductory offer to davidbowie.com. So if you bought Rock and Roll Star through the website, they were giving a 20% discount. So I ended up paying about $120 or something for this. So quite expensive, but because it is, you know, centered around Ziggy Stardust, which is my favourite album. It was a bit of a no-brainer for me. I just wanted to hear all this extra stuff. And what is interesting about these David Bowie box sets that they brought out so far is that none of them have anything to, that they don't have the actual album that they are centered around on them. So there's no, there's no sort of remastered, Ziggy Stardust on here, or on the CDs anyway, and I'll come to that in a bit. So everything that is on here is all, extra material, demos, outtakes, live performances, radio sessions, all that sort of stuff. So all that interesting things. So 5 CDs worth of that sort of material, and imagine if we got that sort of level of unreleased material. Some of this has been released before, notably on Bowie at the Beeb and stuff like that. But there's a lot of unreleased material here. Imagine if we got sort of 5 CDs of unreleased material on some of these Beatles, SDEs, or even some of the solos. This is kind of akin to a Paul McCartney archive collection release, but with way more bonus audio than we've ever got with any of the Paul McCartney ones. Anyway, should we get it open? Okay, so before we get it open, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel. There has been quite a few recently. Thanks very much for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy the content here. If you've just come across this channel by accident or for the first time, please consider subscribing. Love to have you on board and get involved and stuff like that, and all the usual stuff. Please give the video a like, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to use the Terry Mann method. If you don't know Terry Mann is a subscriber to this channel, and he said the way you want to get the shrink off of albums is to use a plectrum or guitar pick, and we did it on the last one. I'm going to make this a feature, so I've got my little box of Beatles guitar picks, and I'm going to pick one randomly and make it a bit of an occasion. Last time it was the George Harrison Revolver plectrum. I'm just going to pick one at random, see what we get. What have we got? We've got this one, which is a little bit boring, but we're going to get it. We're going to use it to get the shrink off. Works a treat, not just on albums but on CD box sets as well. No hype sticker with this, by the way. I didn't get one anyway. Okay, so the shrink is off. Now, on the back there is a loose page of all the material, and I'll be going through what you get on this as we go through. But interesting. So interestingly, so that page was on this side, which normally would be the back of the box set, but that is what it looks like, from the inside. So when I put this on my shelf, I would put it in like that. So, so this stuff here is, protected, and this is that's what I would see from the outside of the shelf. Very clearly marked what the box set is, and that, for a start, that way round is upside down. So we've seen that before on some of the Beatles box sets as well. Yeah, so this track listing sheet, which we've had on some of the Paul McCartney archives as well, it's not glued, but it was on that side of the box set, which, when you have the spine like that on your shelf, means that this is the front rather than the back, which is a little bit odd, but obviously this is a much better picture to have as the front cover. So that's a little bit weird. Now this picture, which I'll just try and get rid of the glare there, is one of those sort of shiny foil type pictures that we saw on the Mind Games Cube. Very similar to that, and on the front, or is it the back, we're not sure, the words, I could make a transformation as a rock and roll star, which is obviously a lyric from the song Star. Okay, let's have a look at what it looks like inside. When you get it out of the box, you've got it's mainly centered around the book, and I think the CDs are kind of like inside there. They're inside there. So that is the back of the book, and it looks like that from the side. We've seen that, and there is a second book in here as well, which is sort of David Bowie's, a reproduction of David Bowie's notebook around the time, and oh, it's quite enormous print. So I think that this is he's got like there's a set list there, and maybe a track running order, but it's a very, very big print. So obviously I'm guessing that the original David Bowie notebook for this was much smaller than this, but they've obviously blown it up so it is the same size as the hardback book, so it all fits neatly in the book. It's really interesting to see his little notes in here. All the songs, some handwritten lyrics there for Soul Love. You kind of get the idea. More handwritten lyrics there. Okay, let's have a look at the material that is on here and the CDs, and then we'll have a little flick through the book. Okay, so when you open it up, you get a little advert for Mick Rock's photo book of David Bowie, but when you open it up, you've got sort of 2 CDs there, and if you go to the back, you've got the other 3 CDs and the Blu-ray, and because it's not a separate sort of folio, you get like the hard card on that side there, and obviously on the inside as well, to protect the CDs. Okay, so the first CD, it's fit quite snugly in here, kind of looks like that. That is the track listing, and I'll go through where they come from, because on here it tells you more information about each of the tracks. So CD 1, there are 16 tracks on that, and you have to pardon me for reading this out because I'm seeing this at the same time as you. So this is mainly mostly demos on this disc. So you get So Long 60s San Francisco hotel recording, then you get an early demo of Hang On To Yourself, and then demos of Lady Stardust, Ziggy Stardust, Star, Soul Love demo with David Bowie spoken notes, Starman demo 1 and Starman demo 2. Then you get some recordings that he did under the pseudonym of Arnold Corns, which was another alter ego then, if you like, very much like Ziggy Stardust, but Arnold Corns obviously doesn't quite have the same ring about it. So you get Moon Age Daydream, Arnold Corns version. These are all Arnold Corns versions. Hang On To Yourself, Looking For A Friend, with a rough mix of that. Then we move to Haddon Hall Rehearsals, Segway, Ziggy Stardust, Holy Holy and Soul Love. Then Star, and then Sweet Head. That is the CD 1. Let's just have a look at the CD, and it kind of sort of replicates the RCA labels, but for the reissue, all the reissues have all had Bowie along the side there, where it would have had RCA on the original albums, but in that same font. So that is CD 1. Moving on to CD 2, which looks like that. That is the track listing, which I will go through on here because you get more information here, and if I'm going too fast, I will show this close up when I've been through all 5 CDs, and then you can pause the video and look at it at your leisure if we're going too fast. This is the CD, same style, but in red, and it says everything on here is in mono. Okay, so from CD2 we get Sounds of the 70s presented by John Peel. Society Sounds of the 70s was a radio show. John Peel was the DJ. Sessions recorded on the 11th of January 1972, broadcast on the 28th of January 1972. Ironically, 11th of January is the birthday of the mate who lent me the Ziggy Stardust album, still my very good friend now, and he lent me the album where, back in 1975 when I heard it for the first time. So that's ironic. Okay, tracks on here: Ziggy Stardust, Queen Bitch, Waiting for the Man, and Lady Stardust. Then we move on to Sounds of the 70s presented by Bob Harris. For people who are outside the UK, if you don't know Bob Harris, he was the presenter of the Old Grey Whistle Test, which was kind of a must-watch for teenagers in the 70s on a Tuesday night, quite late at night. And they never played any singles. It was always albums or stuff, had bands in the studio and that sort of stuff. So this was recorded on the 18th of January 1972, broadcast on the 7th of February 1972. We get Hang On To Yourself, Ziggy Stardust, Queen Bitch, Waiting for the Man, and 5 Years. 5 Years is my favourite David Bowie song of all time, just incidentally. Then we get Old Grey Whistle Test performance. This was filmed on the 7th of February 1972 and broadcast on the 8th of February 1972, except for Oh You Pretty Things, which was not broadcast until 1982. So from that we get Oh You Pretty Things, Take One, Queen Bitch, and 5 Years. This is all sounding really great to me. I can't wait to get into this and listen to all this stuff. CD3 looks like that. That is the track listing from it, and the disc looks like that, same style, this time in blue, again, mono recordings. Now okay, so it starts off with another Sound of the 70s session with John Peel. These were recorded on the 16th of May 1972 and broadcast on the 23rd of May 1972. So the tracks are White Light, White Heat, Moon Age Daydream, Hang On To Yourself, Suffragette City, and Ziggy Stardust. We then move on to the Johnny Walker Lunchtime show. Now, Johnny Walker in the UK was the guy who used to announce the brand new top 20 on his Tuesday lunchtime show. I can remember, gang of us at school used to be down on the school fields with a transistor radio, listening to Johnny Walker's show on a Tuesday, waiting to see what was the new #1 record. And this session probably predates when he did the top 20. I guess someone else did it before him. So this was recorded the 22nd of May 1972 and broadcast from the 5th to the 9th of June 1972. And we get Starman, Space Oddity, Changes, Oh You Pretty Things. Then we go to another session of Sounds of the 70s with Bob Harris. This session was 23rd of May 1972, broadcast on the 19th of June 1972. And we get Andy Warhol, Lady Stardust, White Light, White Heat, Rock and Roll, Suicide. And then we get the Top of the Pops performance, the famous Top of the Pops performance on the 5th of July 1972. Broadcast on the 6th of July 1972 of Starman, the famous one with, David Bowie with his arm round Mick Ronson, and a video that was when it was broadcast caused absolute outrage in the UK, apparently, but obviously this is the soundtrack of that. It's not a video, it's just the recording. So that is CD3. CD4 looks like that. That is the track listing, and the disc looks like this. We've now moved into stereo, sort of purple colour for this one. Okay, so the tracks for this, we've now moved into the studio for the Ziggy sessions. Track 1 is Round and Round. I'm guessing that's a cover of the Chuck Berry song. Then we get the Supermen Ziggy session version, Holy Holy, and Velvet Goldmine Ziggy session. So all those from the Ziggy sessions, but all songs that were left off the final album. Then we get Starman original single mix, John I'm Only Dancing original single version. Then we get some recordings recorded live at the Music Hall Boston on the 1st of August 1972. The Supermen, Changes, Life on Mars, My Death, and John I'm Only Dancing. So that is CD 4. Okay, the final CD, CD 5, is there. That is the track listing for it. And this time they've gone for Yellow. Okay, now what do we get on this? So track 1 is Looking for a Friend. Now this is the Arnold Corns version, but with a 2022 remix. Then Hang On To Yourself, an early Ziggy session take. Star, take 5 alternate version. Lady Stardust, take 1 alternative version. Shadow Man, Ziggy session version. The Supermen, Ziggy session version, but with a 2023 remix. Holy Holy, Ziggy session version, alternative mix. Round and Round, alternative mix. It's Gonna Rain Again, Ziggy session outtake. Looking for a Friend, Ziggy session version. Velvet Goldmine, Ziggy session outtake, but with a 2022 remix. Sweet Head, Ziggy sessions outtake with a 2022 remix. Starman, the Top of the Pops version that we talked about earlier, but this time with a 2022 remix. John I'm Only Dancing, alternative Trident studio recording. And I Can't Explain, the cover of the Who song, which appeared on Pinups later, the Strident studio version. And then a bonus mix, Moon Age Daydream 2003 instrumental mix. And that is all the audio that is in this box set as far as CDs goes. Onto the Blu-ray, which looks like that. It's nice to have individual covers for each of the discs in this set. That is the track listing. This time they've gone for black on the disc. So what is on the Blu-ray? So what we get is a high-res audio version of the original album mix from 1972. Then we get the Ziggy Stardust album and extras, 2003 5.1 mixes and high-res audio. Then we get the album Waiting for the Sky. Now, if you're a Bowie fan, you may know that that album came out for Record Store Day this year, and we get that here in high-res audio. Then we get the singles that we've already talked about from the album in high-res audio, and then the outtakes and alternative versions in high-res audio. So that is what you get on the Blu-ray. Okay, let's have a quick flick through the book. I'm not going to show it all because I don't want to, if you're getting this, you kind of want to discover it all for yourself, but I'll give you an idea about it. There are loads of great pictures in here, and lots of information as well about all the songs that are on each of the CDs. So that is the sort of little bit on the on the demos there, and here the Arnold Corns sessions as well. I always really love seeing the promotional stuff that was around at the time as well. Great picture of Bowie, an early picture of that mullet before it went ginger. There's a picture there. There is an interview with Ken Scott, who was the co-producer of the Ziggy Stardust album with David Bowie, and he talks about each of the tracks, not in a huge amount of detail. There isn't as much text detail about the album on this as there would be, you know, in say the Lennon Ultimate Collection. They much more detail in that book, but a lot of pictures in this book, and probably as much information as you probably need. That is the radio sessions page. Picture there. Tape boxes, the usual thing that we're used to seeing. Picture there of David Bowie with the Hunky Dory album. Some stills here from the Top of the Pops Starman performance. I don't think I need to describe that photo. David on the road. Great picture. And some promotional stuff, record sleeves, record labels, that sort of stuff. All the stuff that we're kind of used to seeing in these hardback books that come with box sets these days. That's a great picture. Nice outfit. Another one as well. It's so 1972. Great picture there. There are also, music paper reviews and stuff like that from around the time. That is a great photo as well. Some really great shots in here. And some more tape boxes. So, you kind of get a flavour of what's in the box. Right, so I want to try and show this a little bit closer up so you can see it, and if I went too quickly, you can pause it as you go through if you want to read for yourself what is on there. I hope that this focuses okay and you can read it. I'm not sure that it does. I just tested it. I think if you expand your video to full screen, you should be able to read that okay. If you've got this box set or you're thinking about getting it, please tell me about that down in the comments. Tell me what you think of it. Love to hear from you. I read all your comments and I will respond to all your comments as well. I'm probably going to be spending the rest of this weekend listening to this because there's just sounds like this just some fantastic stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. Please do me a big favour and give the video a like, a thumbs up. It really does help the channel and helps my videos get out there to more people. If you've stumbled across this channel for the first time, you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Love to have you on board. And if you've made it this far through the video, you'll notice that you have not seen any adverts at all mid-roll. That's because I don't have adverts in my videos, which makes all my viewers be able to watch the videos without annoying interruptions. If you want to be notified of future videos, remember to hit the bell icon as well, and you'll get a notification every time a new video drops. Okay, that is it from me. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.